What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And happy Tuesday, people. Premier League action is back tonight, back to business. Arsenal play tomorrow, of course, but there are some important Premier League games tonight that we'll be keeping an eye on. And yeah, how are you all feeling after the weekend, man? I did Arsenal therapy yesterday. I was very frustrated with Sunday's result. I felt 3 points were there for the taking. But to be honest, I think now we've spoken about it, we've delved into it, and now we have to move on from it, and the team have to move on from it. Brentford at home tomorrow night, which is an interesting game. This is a team that are dangerous. They're dangerous. They've got a guy, I think he's got the longest throw in the Premier League. They've got, after Haaland, probably the most informed striker in the league in Igor Thiago. I've said it many times on this channel, by the way, that I think Keith Andrews is the manager of the season so far in the Premier League, the Brentford manager. To lose Johan Wissa, your best striker, to lose Brian Mbeumo, your best player, and to lose your captain, Christian Norgard, and obviously Thomas Frank left as well. I think Keith Andrew is so far manager of the season. I thought Brentford would be in a serious relegation battle. They're 10th in the league. They're only 3 points off fifth. So I think he's doing a great job. And I think it'll be a tough game. And do you know what? We're going to pick a predicted lineup later on in the show. Because we didn't beat Chelsea, and because Brentford won, Thiago scored a couple of goals, I am going to make a few changes, but maybe one or two of the players that I would have rested, maybe I would keep them in the team, because what Arsenal can't afford to do here is slip up. And these are kind of games in the past. Brentford at home, I remember drawing with Brentford at home when Ivan Toney scored. And yeah, they're not, on paper, you might look at them and go, nah, we'll beat them comfortably, but they're just one of them teams. They're well organised, they're good on the break, they've got a good striker. So, yeah, I'm thinking ahead a little bit in the sense that we've got Brentford and Villa this week, which is tough, but next Wednesday we've got Club Brugge in the Champions League. I think you can rotate heavily for that. And then at the weekend, we've got Wolves at home. So I'm thinking next week is when you can make multiple changes for both of those games. But big up to everyone locked in, man. Hope you are well. Do you know what? I was running late on the way back, and I thought I had the stream ready. I wasn't sure whether I was going to get back before 2 o'clock, so I hadn't listed the stream. I didn't list it until about 25 past 1. So if you guys were checking, you might have thought it's not happening. 1:30 stream ain't here, but I managed to get it for 1:45. People, we got to preview the game, and yeah, the headline that I saw for waffle settings today, yeah, it was. We'll get into it. He's saying wild things, I can't lie, but yeah, we should only rotate heavy after the Villa game. Big up Dens. Igor Thiago, 11 Premier League goals this season, man. Serious numbers for a guy at any club, but certainly for a guy playing for Brentford. So big up to everyone locked in. Make sure you hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. Richard said, I rewatched the Chelsea game. I was excited for Odegaard's return until he immediately started doing that scooped pass-ish. It never worked. Do you know what I've realised with Odegaard? The ball that he's... I don't know. The ball that... I can't say... I'm not going to say he can't play it, because I have seen him play it, but the ball that he doesn't play well is a through ball on the floor. Even against Chelsea, I watched the extended highlights back, and there was one where Gyökeres peels off the centre back. Odegaard's got the ball, just slide it between Cucurella and I think it was Chalobah, and he underhits the pass and it gets blocked. And I'm thinking, Mesut Ozil would have found that ball with his eyes closed. Like, we just honestly do not use Victor Gyökeres well. We just don't. And he said, Uncle Shaw running late, surely not. Surely not, people, surely not. The time goes too quick. Wakardi said, I got an MRI scan to see if I'd done my ACL. Thanks for streaming constantly. Big love to you and the community. Hey, I hope you haven't done your ACL. Let us know how you get on, man. Hopefully you haven't. But if you have, I'm sure you can come back from it. But yeah, let's hope you haven't. Odegaard is jarring, man. The arm waving winds me up. The arm waving, like for unnecessary things, is what winds me. If you hit a belter of a shot and the keeper tips it wide, oh, come on, you know what I mean? But we'll win a throw in. It's like, come on, and you're like, bro, it's a throw in. Relax. What are you talking about? Do you think any of our current players in the team are better than Alexis Sanchez? No chance. Nah, not in the attack. Alexis Sanchez was certified, and I mean certified, world class. World class. I would argue we don't have a world class attacking player. That might, people may not agree with that, but Alexis Sanchez is on a whole nother level to what we've got at the moment. Clutch, so many different types of goals. He won trophies with Uruguay. He won trophies with Chile. He won trophies with Arsenal in a way worse team than this. So nah, unbelievable footballer. If we had him in the team now, we'd win the league. That's how good he is. You put Alexis Sanchez in this Arsenal team, we definitely win the title. Like, there ain't no question about it. He's getting 15 to 20 goals and he's coming up with big moments. Big up Matt Southern Gooner. He said, big man C cannot drop any points this week or any more points. Rewatched the game last night. Zubidoo was all over the place on defence. Igor Thiago sitting on 11 goals in 13. He's on fire. And that Villa match right now is just hanging over us. I'm like, it's the 12:30, it's Emery. Everything about that match looks horrible. But what we need is a positive result tomorrow, and that might make things look a little bit better. We need Saliba back for that game as well. Aston Villa go to Brighton tomorrow. Remember that. That's a tough game. So I don't think Villa will be able to rotate much either, So things can change in football, If Man City drop points tonight, Manchester City are playing Fulham away tonight, which Fulham haven't been great this season, to be honest. I mean, looking at Fulham, they're not even in the top 10. Wow, Fulham are 15th. They're having a pretty poor season, but they did beat Tottenham at the weekend. I mean, everybody beats Tottenham, but a couple of ex-Arsenal players playing for Fulham. It is at Craven Cottage. It's under the lights. Leno, Iwobi, Smith Rowe. I'd even take a draw, If we saw City drop points tonight, I think that would motivate us and we can go and beat Brentford. But we need a positive result. And then we'll feel a little bit better about Villa. At the moment, I don't feel good about that Aston Villa game. I'll be honest. I just don't feel comfortable with it. At 12:30, they're going to be physical. But let's deal with Brentford first. Let's focus on what's right in front of us. Because honestly, this Brentford game is not straightforward, I promise you. Smash the like button and subscribe. Hope everybody has a great day. Of course, big up to Ryan Arsenal. Big up Buenos Aires Guna. So glad that he's back with the community on a more permanent basis. He said, Buenos dias, brother Curtis and C Unit. Blessings to all. Big up to you, bro. And listen, this midweek is big. It's big. Chelsea go to Leeds. Leeds haven't been great. But my focus is Manchester City after Arsenal. I genuinely believe that Arsenal and City will end up as the two. But you never know. You never know. Chelsea might stay up there for the rest of the season. The Bang said, if Arsenal lose on my birthday tomorrow, it's a sign from God. As I always say, don't let Arsenal ruin your birthday. Don't let Arsenal ruin your birthday. DJ Rowletta, who was better all round, Alexis or Van Persie? That is a tough question because I think technically, in terms of touch, technique, shooting sort of style, variety of shots, Robin Van Persie is insane. Like the volleys, the first touch, the headers. I think technically Van Persie is the better footballer. If you're talking from a pure technical footballing natural ability standpoint, I think Robin Van Persie is the better footballer. But Alexis was the dog, I don't mean win the dog. I mean like a pit bull, He'll run for a brick wall. And he had great technical ability as well. So, yeah, tough, really. I think technically Van Persie was a magician. What annoys me so much about Van Persie is we had him at the club for years. He then peaks, he then leaves. Do you know what I mean? It's like we developed him and he gets to his very best and then moves on, but we wasted him. When the dog always catches strays, you know, when they brought out a dog for £30 in the club shop, then we had to have conversations about that dog. Because it's one thing having a dog, it's another thing trying to make money off us. And people actually are buying that plush toy as well, which is crazy. They finished 6th, bro, but Emery is better. Come on. What are we talking here in terms of Emery and Arteta? I think where that argument always equates, though, my friend, is number one, where would Arteta finish with Aston Villa, right? Bear in mind, they don't have anywhere near the finances that we've got. In fact, they've had to sell players like Diaby, Leon Bailey, John Duran, top players. And bear in mind, they were in a relegation battle when he took over, you know? They were in a relegation battle when Steven Gerrard left. So I always say, and I've said this multiple times on this channel, that I don't mind people saying that Arteta's a better manager than another manager. But the thing is, he needs trophies on that CV. He needs trophies. This guy's won 4 Europa Leagues. So his CV is stacked compared to Mikel. And that's the reality of the situation. I said it. Arteta, he needs to go and win stuff this season. Richard said, the RVP hate I'll never get. He told the truth about the club, went to United, won the league. That's why he gets hate. Alexis don't get hate because he flopped. Richard, I'm with you, right? In the sense that some, you know, when a lot of these players, and I will get into the game tomorrow because I am waffling here a little bit. Arsenal fans have this thing when players leave, go somewhere and do better when we weren't doing well. We hate the player. They're not Arsenal fans. They're trying to have a career. Robin van Persie had a meeting with Arsenal. They told him the players they were buying. He said, you ain't winning nothing with those players. I've got a year left on my contract. I'm leaving. He goes to Man United, wins the Golden Boot and wins the Premier League. It hurts. We feel like there's a lack of loyalty there. But the loyalty we've got to the club is not the same that they've got to the club. It's business. You work in a job, you get offered a better job, there's a chance you might leave, you know? So that's the problem. Ashley Cole was I still think was snaky because even though he left and won things at Chelsea, he's a boyhood Arsenal fan. We still had a fantastic Arsenal team. He's saying he left over £5,000. We offered him 60, then we offered him 55. He said, oh no, it's the principle. Well, he said, I wasn't even interested in the money. I would have signed for anything. So if they offered you 60, then offered you 55, why was that enough to push you over the edge? This is your boyhood club. Apparently, you would have signed for anything. So for me, the Ashley Cole one's the one I'm like, I don't know. Van Persie, we always knew he was going back to Barcelona. You know, that was just inevitable. Alexis, you're right. He got away with it because he flopped, so we didn't care. But Alexis, if Alexis would have gone to Man City, nobody could have blamed him. They were the best team. Pep was his former manager. When he went to Man United, I was like, you've just gone for money. You've just gone for money. That's it. And he flopped. Cole is a pure cap. I don't trust me. Ashley Cole is the one that I look at and think, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Fabregas was always going to go back to Barcelona. I'm not angry with that, to be honest. But Ashley Cole, yeah, I don't know. Even when he was on the overlap the other day, I thought, that story's got holes in it, bro. It's like wearing a string vest, like, you know what I mean? And there's leaks all over it, bro. Oh, I didn't care what they offered me. I was willing to sign. They offered him 60, then offered him 55. And he said, no, that £5,000, that's tipped me over the edge. I'm going to Chelsea. So I don't know. I don't know. Here's 1-0. Do you have Google? Yeah, I do have Google. But he's won an FA Cup, but that was in 2020. You know, I don't really reflect on that too much now. You know, yeah, that was. They'd had a party for the manager or something, and Chelsea were walking out of the hotel, and he was walking in the hotel. It was pure coincidence. Yeah, right, Ash. Okay, in all the hotels in London, you was walking into the hotel for a meeting where the Chelsea board were leaving at that time. It's just pure coincidence they pictured you walking in the hotel as Chelsea were walking out. No, you were having secret meetings with Chelsea in broad daylight. You got caught, and then tried to throw the blame game on Arsenal. Oh, they offered me £5 grand less, so I felt disrespected. Come on, Ash, do me a favour, mate. I just don't buy it. I do not buy it whatsoever. Just say you'd had enough and you wanted to go Chelsea. I'd have more respect for you. King said, "Big up, Big C, watching from Nigeria. I'm at work currently. Have a wonderful day, Big C. Have a good day at work, man. Don't get in no trouble, you know. Don't get in no trouble." Right, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. In fact, before we do, I just want to give a shout out to a man like Declan Rice. Declan Rice was voted the Football Supporters Association Men's Player of the Year. This is for the whole Premier League. It's voted by the fans, so it's a bit of a popularity contest, to be honest. But I think he deserves it. He's had an unbelievable year. You know, the Real Madrid goals, he's got better and better this season. Made Premier League Team of the Year last season. And he gets better and better every week. So big up to him. Nice to see him getting accolades. But ultimately, what I want to see... Fans Association, sorry. Fans Association. Did I say football? Fans Association Player of the Year. I want to see him winning PFA Player of the Year. You know, that's what I want to see. Because we've won the title. You know, individual trophies for players, cool. But I need to see PFA Player of the Year, which usually goes to a player who's won the title. You know, I don't want Deckers ending this season going, well, at least I won that Conference League at West Ham. No, I need him to be lifting up a Premier League title or a Champions League, you know. That's where we're hoping this goes throughout this season. You know? More than a midfielder, guys, more than a midfielder. Can you do a watch along for Barca? They're playing Atletico, right? We'll have a look. Maybe. Imagine Top Gooners did to Arsenal what Gyökeres did to Sporting. Football fans only want loyalty when it's their club. Crazy how that happens. Listen, I've said it before and I've said it again. Loyalty in football is minimal from both sides. When a player's struggling and they get sold, no football fan has a problem. None of us are sitting here going, oh my God, I can't believe Arsenal released Tomiyasu. Why would we do that to him? Why don't we show loyalty? No, we don't care. That's the harsh reality of it. We don't care. We only care if you're useful to our club. We're looking at it now going, he's too injury prone. He's on 100 grand a week. Get rid of him on your bike. We're not bothered. When a player does your club dirty, you hate them, they're a snake. When they do it to their club to come to your club, they're a hero. What Gyökeres did to Sporting Lisbon was nasty work, bro. They signed him from the Championship. And he went on strike effectively. But the only thing is, he's saying that there was an agreement that they would allow him to go at the end of the season for a certain price and blah, blah, blah. But I always say to anybody, if any of you are involved in football, maybe you're playing at a certain level, maybe you've got children coming up in the academy system, if it's not in writing, yeah, forget about it. There's no such thing as forget about it, people. There's no such thing as a gentleman's agreement in football. Unfortunately, you shake hands with a chairman, it means nothing. Is it on paper? Do you have it legally written down? Gyökeres was naive to agree with a chairman of Lisbon that he could go at a certain price. Look at Harry Kane. Oh, I got a gentleman's agreement to leave Tottenham. And then he never let him go to Man City. So this is business, man. Because the better you get, they're going to go, yo, I shook hands with you in January and said you could go for 65 million, but you've ended up scoring 40 goals this season. So actually, you're worth 85 million. So forget the handshake. You do not trust people in football. It needs to be in writing. You know? Buenos Aires Guna, glad to be back, Curtis. Life has been super rough the past years, but still and always, God is good. As always, bro, as always. Onwards and upwards, you know. I'm glad you're back. Berta will start doing this type of stuff, yeah. Look at that. We just woke up one day, yeah. Berta's released Tomiyasu. Went, oh, cool. Thoughts on the Ecuadorian twins we signed? What can I tell you? We've signed 2 teenage wonder kids, apparently, who are twins from Ecuador. I don't know who they are. You guys tell me. You might know more about them. Apparently, all the top clubs in Europe were trying to get them, and we got them. So I literally don't know anything about them. You know, I'm sure there'll be YouTubers who go, oh, I've watched him multiple times, in, in the Ecuadorian 4th division at 8 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, let's get into press conference reaction. It's another one. It's another one. Another one. DJ Khaled. Mickey Rose, the boss. Coleman Music. He's back again, people. He sent out a rallying cry to the community. We're going to get into it. Let's hear what he got to say, people. If the pre-game press conferences, they make me nervous. New training wear. Is that actually new, or is that the same one as before? Is that actually new? Because I'm sure we had green training tops already. Is that green? I don't know. Maybe that's the one from earlier in the season. It looks exactly the same as the one that we had before. Not a great time to bring out training kit after that Chelsea result, but maybe it is new. It looks exactly the same as the one we already had. It is new, right? I thought we already had a green training kit. We had a blue one, a red one. I thought we already had a green. That looks the same one. Released today. Let me see this. Listen, whoever did that, they should have said, look, let's beat Brentford and then release it, you know? Prey on our weakness after a good result. Don't bring it out when we're all annoyed with the Chelsea result. New merch! These lot are shameless, man. They don't care, do they? It's basically the same, but it's the pro training version, so it's just slightly different design. Slightly darker green. Don't go anywhere near it. I never buy any of the green training kit because on the green screen it goes crazy, so there's no point me going near it. Stay away, guys. Elliot, Robert, stay away. All of us. Don't do it. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed right now. Next vid will be in new merch. No, it won't. I'm in a mood with Arsenal at the moment. On the latest injury news, I'm not going to be able to help you much today because we have another training session later on. Copy and paste. The latest on Saliba, had a little niggle. I think it's going to be a matter of days. Let's see if he's able to be there tomorrow. If he's not 100%, leave him out. Leave him out. Aston Villa, we need him for that. On Trossard, matter of days as well. This is a new word today, matter. Matter of days. The latest on Kai Havertz, matter of weeks. Let's see how he evolves in the next weeks. He's doing really well. He's doing stuff on the pitch, but I think he needs some time. Latest on Gabriel Magalhaes. Big Gabby is doing very well as well, but that's weeks as well. I'm worried about Gabriel Magalhaes, you know. I feel like he's going to be out for ages. Remember, Arteta told us the week we came back from international duty, he said he had a scan on Wednesday. That was last Wednesday. So what did they say? 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks? He doesn't give us any clarity from the press conference. I get it. You don't want the opposition sometimes to know how long a player's out for, but we know he's out for a while. Give us some answers. Ask him. Follow up the question. How long exactly do you think Gabriel Magalhaes will be out for? You told us there was a scan on Wednesday. Listen, maybe this is just what managers do and they're not allowed to tell you, but I hear other managers tell you time frames. He doesn't tell us anything. People, this one here was the headline. I just saw this headline and I went, wow. Okay. On facing Brentford, he says, that's an opportunity tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. kickoff. To be at the Emirates, bouncing and putting energy to win the game. That's the opportunity that we have tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. Like animals. Everybody at the Emirates to go again and beat Brentford. It's vital. Massive. Bring your boots. Bring your pads. When you come to the Emirates tomorrow, guys, 7:30 p.m. I repeat, 7:30 p.m. kickoff. And what I want you to turn up like an animal, guys. I want you to roar like a lion. I want you to bark like a dog. Bark like Win the dog, guys. Like Win, when Win is doing a poo on the training ground, this is why we have so many injuries, because they run around the pitch, they slip on the poo, and they get muscular problems, guys. I want you to bark like Win the dog. So when the boys come out, it feels like we're at an animal shelter, guys. The stadium's going to be bouncing, guys. Dogs, lions, moo like a cow, guys. Moo like a cow. So there we go, people. So if you go to the Emirates tomorrow, 7:30 p.m., start barking when the players come out, and that's gonna get us over the finish line tomorrow. You know, the rallying cry as a manager, I get it. I think you've got to use it at the right time, yeah? Maybe he is a DMX fan. I've been saying he needs to play DMX instead of North London Forever. And DMX used to bark at do the dog bark. Oh, oh, where my dog's at? So maybe he's been listening to some DMX. You know what I mean? Some Flesh of My Flesh and them old school banging albums from DMX. Maybe he's a DMX fan. Maybe. The thing with the rallying cry as a manager, I think you've got to use that at the right time, like Champions League quarter-final at home or a massive game at the back end of the season. The rallying cry, come on guys, the atmosphere. Brentford at home on a Wednesday night, 14 games into the season. I just don't know if that was the time to do this, because it loses effect a little bit if you do it too many times. North London forever, these streets are our own. You know what I mean? I show speed. Oh, oh! Bring your boots, bring your pads, and bark like a dog, guys. Bark like a dog. Yeah. Emirates going to be a library as usual. You'll have Fring Pong dancing with the Gunnosaurus on the side of the pitch with time, me mugging a 4-year-old Brentford fan. Yo, I love that one, you know. Yeah, I don't know if it will be a... Maybe he knows the atmosphere is going to stink tomorrow. Brentford, midweek, it's not really written for a crazy atmosphere, is it? But they should be able to beat Brentford, man. Come on. Bring your boots and bring your pads, guys. Bring your boots and bring your pads. You three pressed Big Robbie yesterday. Love to see it. Him playing devil's advocate made it a great show, though. Even though he was peeing me off, kudos to him. Do you know what I've realised with Robbie, right, when you do a show? Is like, sometimes you will watch him and you'll think, he can't be thinking that. Sometimes, you know, in the show finishes, I won't say his opinion changes, but sometimes he agrees with you a little bit more than what he does on camera. He's very good at it. You know, he wants the debate. So don't get me wrong, he was kind of positive about the draw, where I was very disappointed. Lee was very disappointed. Jack was disappointed. But he knows how to do it as well to make better viewing. Sometimes I'm like, you're on the wind-up, bro. There's no way that you believe what you're saying. But he's good. He's experienced. He knows. Arsenal are a social experiment of a club. I agree with that. They are. It is the Truman Show in real life. Alexis Sanchez, the streets will never forget. Nah, we wasted him. He should have been a title-winning winger for us. Right, here we go. Anyway, no more barking like a dog. On the motivation for us, our motivation comes from preparation, how we prepare for every game, try to be better than the opposition. Where we are in the league, what we are doing, I don't think we need any more motivation. On resting players, we try to manage every case, every individual in relation to how they feel in the context of the matches, adjust with the only purpose to have the best options on the best pitch and to be better than the opponent. I didn't know that. I didn't realise when you went on the pitch, you was trying to be better than the team you was playing against. Didn't realise. On whether there will be an opportunity for Ben White, there is an opportunity for everybody. On facing the physical challenge, that physicality comes from different areas in relation to the pitch. I think every game that we play, when you look at the intensity of the Premier League against any opponent, what is needed is incredible. Brentford bring different threats, different challenges, and you need to dominate. Wow. It's just not groundbreaking stuff, is it? It really isn't. On whether we are seeing more time wasting. You're wasting our time asking these questions. The game evolves, guys. The rules evolve. It's going to be constant. You look in the Premier League, how many minutes that we are playing, guys. The actual effective time that we are playing, the effective time that we played on Sunday, there are a lot of things to look at and evolve. This guy must be a Pokemon fan. Goalkeepers going down is an example. There are many of us constantly evolve. Again, he loves that word. The game and rules have to be evolving. Jeez, how many times? He's used evolve about 5 times here. On understanding the frustration, yeah, especially when you're on the other side. Whether Declan Rice has exceeded expectations after signing. I think it's very close to what we believed he could bring to the club, to the team, the way we grow. Personally, I think he fully deserves it. I think he's been incredibly consistent throughout the last years. Last season, again, in big matches, big moments, he's stepping up, which is massive. You want to fulfill that role at the club, and I'm delighted. And whether he expected Mourinho could become a striker. As a striker, certainly not. That's not the thing. You learn, you sign a player. I knew he could offer much more than what he had, especially after I met him for the first time, because a player that has that amount of curiosity, he's so curious, people, and the amount of questions he asked, how willing he is to learn constantly, the way he loves his profession and football, it's difficult to put limits to that when someone wants to grow every single day and is that determined, is that hungry to win and evolve, to be part of something that's very powerful. Mikel certainly has that. I reckon they're related. I reckon they're related somewhere. On why he signed Christian Norgard, yeah, we're trying to figure that out. What I saw on the pitch and then everything I heard about him as a leader and the role that he can fulfill and the role he was going to have here, the moment I picked up the phone and spoke to him, he was super excited to join us. Yeah, I bet he couldn't believe his luck. He brings something that we don't have in the squad, and I'm very happy to have him. Follow-up question. So, Mikel, why has he played hardly any minutes since you were so excited to sign him after speaking to him on the phone? He's probably filling up water bottles. Christian, I have an important job for you, my friend. Yeah, Gaffer, what is that? I need you to fill up the water bottles all the way to the top. When Saka gets thirsty, when Gyökeres gets thirsty, I need them to have full bottles of water. So I need you to fill them up. That is your role, guys. I'm so excited. It's unbelievable the way you're evolving. It's unbelievable. Plus, get me a cappuccino with 1 sugar. Slightly milky. Anyway, on David Raya, an amazing goalkeeper. It's a great story as well and how it happened. We tried to sign David much earlier. It was as soon as I arrived almost, and he had to wait another 2 years. The start they had and the journey we had together has been phenomenal for us. I'm very happy to have him. He's been a good signing, to be fair. Whether he's been the best signing he's made. Difficult question to answer. He's certainly one that he's taken us to a different level. He's a player that has brought something to our way of playing. Whether we will see goals from open play. What kind of a question is that? Seriously, like, I know sometimes I'm a little bit harsh on certain questions, but that question is genuinely one of the worst questions I have ever seen. Yeah, oh yeah, he's muddered Ramsdale. He didn't even want Ramsdale. You know what I mean? He's basically saying, look, I wanted Raya, couldn't get him 2 years ago, so I had to put up with that scrub Ramsdale for 2 years until I could bin him and get David Raya in. That's what he's basically said. That's why I call him Mickey Rouse, the boss. There's diss tracks in these answers, people. Mikel, do you think we'll see goals from open play tomorrow? Well, mate, I can't mind read. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. So you might not. Any more stupid questions? What a question. I don't even want to read the answer. I don't know a team in the Premier League that doesn't like to score from set pieces. We just conceded one. They had 7 corners. We had 8. I think we should all be set piece teams. We all score and concede set pieces, unfortunately. What a shocking waste of a question. What do you expect him to say? Yeah, mate, we'll see 4 goals from open play. Oh, thanks, Mikel. I'll write that in my little notebook. You're talking to Mikel Arteta, mate, not the Oracle. And whether the supporters can be any more positive, well, you go on Twitter, mate. They're about to explode with positivity. Do you know what I mean? You can always be more positive, especially when you play a different type of game. That's where you have to lift the standards, the team, the fans, ourselves as well. The way we're going to play tomorrow, to lift everybody, make sure that we produce the same energy. Whew, this is hard work, man, I'm telling you. On injuries being a theme of the season. Yeah, and last season. Especially how we lost them. The injuries with Leo as well, because Leo was in a great moment and Gabby Martinelli was just coming back. We had to manage his minutes. He wasn't able to play more than he did Sunday, managing that fact. Obviously, Willie trained the day before. Then he was uncomfortable. The players are not training in certain positions, having to play there. The attitude towards it, blah, blah, blah. Realistically, the question should be, Mikel, do you think there is anything more that you can do to influence the amount of injuries we are getting? Because we seem to be getting an abnormal amount of injuries. Do you think you can rotate the players better? Do you think there's something wrong with the training ground? That's the question I want to hear. Not, Mikel, do you think there'll be a goal from open play tomorrow? Yeah, I ain't got a clue, mate. Next question, and get out the press conference. Elliot, now I'm in waffles, sipping syrup. Time to get out of the blues with some bee honey on toast chews. Need better for that coma music. What a boring press conference. I'd be asleep. I'd genuinely be asleep. Yeah, that guy at the back here. Sorry, Mikel, he's sleeping. You'll have to leave it. On last season, preparing him for this season. Oh, dear, oh, dear. What a question. What a question again. Yeah, mate, you know how you went gym yesterday? Do you think that helped you go gym tomorrow? Well, probably, mate, because, what I did yesterday tends to help me for tomorrow. What's the point in that question? What is he going to say? I don't even want to read it. We learn we're able to put together a squad that is more reliable. Yeah, whatever. On Kai Havertz suffering a setback, he was doing everything. He could not go to the next level, which the German coach told us, thankfully. It's looking like we have unlocked that. You've unlocked it, right? We're all desperate to have him. Well, not desperate. Wouldn't mind him being in the squad, but it's a player that personally I love so much for what he brings to the team. Still not sure I see what he brings to the team, really. Not for $275 a week. His character, his personality. I see him suffer being outside. His playing record is phenomenal. He's always been available. Yeah, until you snapped his hamstring in Dubai. And I can't wait to have him back around the team now, playing, because I think it's going to be a massive boost for the team. Not sure it's that big a boost, mate, because I'd say Mikel Merino's probably been better than him up front. And Gyökeres way better than him. I'd be putting him on the transfer list for the summer. That's what I'd be doing. You can tell he absolutely... Honestly, be prepared this season at some stage, Kai Havertz contract extension. You never hear him wax lyrical about other players like this. He loves him. Absolutely loves Kai Havertz. I'd be selling him. On Declan Rice being a lighthouse. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Declan Rice, you are a lighthouse. Every time I look at you, your head is just flashing like a light bulb, guys. Like a light bulb. Out of reach, so far, I never... It's like a light bulb. It's like a lighthouse. You have a light on your head, Declan. Another light. Remember we had the light bulb before? Now it's a lighthouse. There's dogs. There's all sorts. That's the way I perceived him. He could potentially be in a lighthouse. And now he's become a lighthouse, which is very difficult to do in a big club like Arsenal. When I signed him, guys, I didn't think he could become a lighthouse. But now when I look at him, he's become a lighthouse. He's just like a flashing light, guys. I cannot even look at him. He's so bright. He's unbelievable, guys. He's unbelievable. Yeah, Declan Light. Declan Light, people. Honestly. How are we supposed to take anything from this press conference? What are we supposed to be motivated? He wants us to bark like a dog. Declan Rice is a lighthouse. And the guy's asking him if we're going to score from open play, like he's already seen the future. What he learnt from a big week. Starting from Spurs, I learned a lot about the international break again and what happened. For example, what happened with Gabby and how we can correct that so it never happens again. We played a game in a way that, again, we have to learn, and watching them, you always learn from it. Bayern Munich brought different qualities. Qualities, guys, the qualities. Players that you don't see weekly, but we needed the potential of it, and obviously what they were doing, and we took a lot from them. Then last weekend, the same amount of games you have to play within a game. What happened at Stamford Bridge in that sense, it's enormous, because I think it's a perception of what happened and actually what happened and why it happened. So it was a huge learning. He has to be a politician. I'm convinced this guy will take over from Keir Starmer, because he says a lot and says nothing. He's just said a whole paragraph there, a massive paragraph, and I don't know what he means. Perception of what happened and actually what happened and why it happened. No, they went down to 10 men in the 38th minute and you couldn't break them down to win the game. Just an equaliser. That's what happened. No perception. Whether teams will copy Chelsea and Sunderland's aggression against Arsenal, I think every team in the Prem, the first thing they do is be aggressive. I don't think it's going to be something that teams are going to change. You take it to certain extremes. Hopefully, that will be looked after. It should have been in the first action of the game on the kickoff with Mosquera. We have to learn from it and use it in a better way, because we should have explored what we had for a period of time. It wasn't 60 minutes because from 33 to 39, we didn't play. Then there was another player on the floor, and the next 4 minutes, we didn't play. Do you know what I think he's getting at there? I don't even remember that challenge on Mosquera. I think he's probably getting at the fact that 6 minutes from 33 to 39, there was no play. Then 4 minutes we didn't play. They added on 5 minutes at the end of the first half, 4 minutes at the end of the second half. So what he's basically saying in his crazy way is that the referee robbed us of time added on at the end of the game. So even though we played for 94 minutes and couldn't score twice, if we'd have had an extra 4 minutes, he thinks the winner would have turned up. This is what you call, this is a whole new level of waffle. I went to Disney World last year, and we stayed in some hotel for a few days, Disney World resort, whatever. And we had Mickey Mouse waffles, shaped big Mickey Mouse face with the 2 ears. You know what I mean? This is Mickey Mouse waffles we're getting today, people. I'm telling you, this is next level. How he prepares during the busy period, there's a balance. Obviously, depending, sometimes we play 3 days after, sometimes 4 days. Obviously, the schedule brings a scenario that is 3 and 3. So we are used to it. We alter the preparation, probably in the physical part, a little bit more, but rely much more on principles and tweak what we have to do in relation to the opponent's weakness. Wow. I feel like I'm in double maths on a Monday morning in school doing algebra. Honestly, it's outrageous. I'm actually suffering it. I wouldn't blame you guys. I wouldn't, honestly, if I looked in the corner now and there was only 3 of you watching this stream, I would not blame the rest of you for walking away from this. I'm physically in pain reading this. Oh, my days. I feel like going to an advert. I should play an advert for 45 seconds and have a break. And whether he sees fixtures as blocks of games. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Oh, my days. Sometimes you play against the back 4 or teams that are very direct and rely or want to take the game to a restart or a set piece or against other teams that are completely different. We faced for a period a lot of back 5s and low blocks. Then this block of 3 games being different. So sometimes you are lucky. So you say, okay, now for this period, this is going to help us. For the next few games, sometimes you just have to alter it. Oh, just put us out of our misery. Please. Yes. This is the last question. On Saliba's injuries being random. Not that random when you roll your ankle in the warm-up and then you still asked to play the game. It's not that random, is it? What another... These questions... You know why these questions annoy me so much? Because they will never ask him any difficult questions. They're almost asking him a question with an excuse. Hi, Mickey, how do you feel about playing games every 3 days? Well, they're so difficult. We're suffering. The games, they're so tough. Oh, what about Saliba's random injuries? No, he didn't randomly get injured. He rolled his ankle in the warm-up. You don't play him. You tried to play him. Then you took him off after 15 minutes in the game. Do you really think that's good management? But they won't ask him that question because they'll be getting escorted out of the press conference. And they won't go to the end of season, tea party at the Emirates. It's pathetic. Well, the ankle one, it was really random and a very unlucky action that kept him out for a few weeks. He tried at Anfield, he wasn't comfortable, and he had to stay away. And this one as well, very bizarre. Hopefully it will be a matter of days. Okay, mate. It ain't random. It's called overplaying. That's what it's called, mate. I'm so glad that's over. I want to apologise. If you're watching this back on playback, or if you're watching it live with me now, we have just suffered 10 minutes that we will not get back. We've just been robbed of 10 minutes. That is crazy. Right, let's do something a bit more entertaining because that was painful. Absolutely painful. Well, people always say that, right? Yeah, but were your questions tough enough? What did I say to him? If you look at my question that I asked him, I said, Mikel, do you feel like you have to win a trophy this season as there's a lot of pressure from the fans on you to win trophies? I think that's a better question than most of them that they ask. Bear in mind, I'm not a journalist. I'm just a fan. You know what I mean? But he waffled his way out of that. I thrive on the pressure, guys. I want there to be pressure because it means that I'm at a big club. He done all that. You know what I mean? He was spinning around, just waffling. That was it. But we try. We try. Mikel, where is Gabby? Give us a timeline. I need Saliba back. I have more faith in Big C's hairline and baby ears right now than our back. Bro, I'm telling you. At least I'm straight to the point. I think Gabby will be out till January. He's just saying weeks. He don't want to tell us. Oh, there's a scan on Wednesday. Well, it's the following Tuesday. Where's the scan results? He don't want to tell us. Big C, Caicedo aside, you've seen some of the kicks on Madueke by Cucurella and Enzo. Do you think we got moved to and weren't ready for that type of game? Yeah, we did. Let's be honest. Maresca knew that pure football, we were better than them. So what he did, he spoilt the game. When a team tries to spoil the game, you need to stay calm and you need to keep your level. While they're trying to fight you, you're just bopping them, right? And they're getting yellow cards. What we did, we started falling to that level. We got 6 yellow cards. Don't get me wrong. Some of them were not even yellow cards, but some of them were ridiculous. Calafiori and Luis Skelly's. And physically, they were way more aggressive. Now, Caicedo went over the line. You know, that's why he got sent off. But the rest of the game, they only had 1 yellow card. So with that much aggression, they still managed to play the ref and get away with it. They bullied us, I'll be honest with you, especially in that first half. I think if Caicedo don't get sent off, we probably get beat, to be honest. They were moving to us. I've seen a lot of people saying Esteval was poor, but Esteval was getting he was getting in dangerous positions. He volleyed it over the bar on his right foot. His finishing was off. So yeah, I thought they were too physical for us. Yo, Curtis, can you say to infinity and beyond? To infinity and beyond, guys. To infinity and beyond. This is why I signed Christian Norgard, guys. I was sitting there at home. I was watching Toy Story, guys. I see Buzz Lightyear. I say, oh my God, I know I've seen that face before, guys. It's when we play Brentford. So I say, I'm going to sign Buzz Lightyear. I've got the lighthouse in Declan Rice. So now I want Buzz Lightyear. Lights everywhere, guys. Lights everywhere. Right, predicted lineup. What we would pick and what we think he's going to pick. My question to all of you. Is this the game that you rest Rice and Timber? Those two in particular. They've been maybe our 2 best players this season. They've played nearly every game. There are replacements waiting in the background. Or are we looking at it and saying, next week we've got Bruges and Wolves. Do we have to get them through to next week? Because we didn't beat Chelsea, is there so much pressure on the Brentford game that we have to change things? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I really, really want to rest Declan Rice if possible. But at the same time, I don't trust Norgard. But maybe we have to. I don't know. I don't know. This is the question, guys. Let's pick our 11 and then we'll maybe go with what we think he will pick. David Raya continues in goal, former club. He'll have a point to prove. Calafiori, for me, plays at left back. Skelly is not playing well at the moment. Somebody was saying yesterday, actually, which was a good point. He was saying that Nkapie and Mosquera didn't look to have great chemistry. Could you put Calafiori at centre-back and put Nkapie left-back? Which isn't a bad shout either. Maybe you could go with that. But on the flip side, I do think they improved. They started the game shaky, especially in Nkapie slipping over on the ball. But after we conceded the goal, they weren't bad. But I don't know. What would you guys do? Timber doesn't play for me. Timber doesn't play for me. I think Ben White can play. What's going on here? Yeah, there we go. Benjamin White. I'll play Ben White at right back. Calafiori's on 4 yellow cards. Ooh, we'll have a look. We will have a look at that because that is interesting. Especially when we got Villa at the... Yeah, you're right. 4 yellow... That's why the community is legit. You pick up on these things. Calafiori, 1 yellow card away from suspension. Wow. But the way that Skelly's playing, man... And I'm a big fan of Skelly, but bro, I just don't know. I mean, if Saliba's back, you could put in Nkapie at left back, but if he's not... If he gets a booking tomorrow, he misses Villa at Villa Park. But if Calafiori doesn't play, okay, all right, let's work from best case scenario, right? Let's work from best case scenario. Saliba's fit, right? We'll assume Saliba's fit. And we put Saliba in at centre back and we put Nkapie to left back, right? We'll work from best case scenario. We'll go for that, right? We'll go for that. But if Saliba's not fit, obviously we've got a different scenario. Maybe you've got to play Lewis Skelly, you know? Or can you trust Calafiori to not get booked? But he seems to get booked a lot. I don't know. This midfield one, I'll be honest, I've been in two minds. Zubamendi's going to play, that's obvious. He didn't play 90. He didn't play well either. Because I tell you what the problem is here, right, is if Saliba doesn't play, that back four is a worry against a very direct team. And then if you don't have Rice in midfield as well, right, I'm going to say it, right, I'm not playing him. I'm not playing him. I think you've got to think about the long term. You as the captain of them, if you can't play well against them, there's no point you even playing for the football club. They've lost. I was just looking. They've got one of the worst away records in the Premier League, Brentford. Just looking at their record now, their last away games. Lost 2-1 at Brighton. Lost 2-0 at Palace. Lost... the one victory was away at West Ham. They lost 3-1 at Fulham. They lost 2-1 at Sunderland. They lost 2-0 at Bournemouth. They lost 3-1 at Forest. I'm not playing him. Buzz Lightyear gets a start. To infinity and beyond. Come on. Surely against your old club, you were the captain. I'm giving Declan Rice a night off. When I say night off for Timber as well, I'm talking you're not even inside the stadium. Stay at home, put your feet up, you're not even coming on. Rice might have to be on the bench in case Norgard's having a stinker. Brentford seem to be two different teams. They're brilliant at home, they're poor away from home. The other thing that I was thinking is, and I don't know if this is too attacking, and I don't want to sound disrespectful here, but to avoid Norgard playing, could we go on the front foot and play Zubamendi as a lone six with Eze and Odegaard as attacking midfielders? Or do we have to play a double pivot because Zubamendi is not very physical? And Brentford are a physical team. So I don't know if you can trust Zubamendi as a lone six, but I'm expecting Arsenal to dominate the ball tomorrow. I would like to see Eze and Odegaard in the team. Because I don't really want Norgard to start. I don't rate him. I'm sorry. I think he's capable of having a decent game, but... And I don't like Marino in midfield either. Right, listen, okay. For now, play him. I'm just thinking how... do you know what? You can tell I haven't planned this because I'm going to take Eze out of that role and I'm going to play Odegaard. This doesn't mean Eze's out of the team. Eze might be back in the team for me on the weekend. I might even play him left wing. I think Trossard's going to be back. And you do have to remember that Eze at Palace is not used to playing in Europe. So he may have a little bit of fatigue. So I would probably, if he's fit, play Trossard. And everything I'm reading is that he is going to be fit. Play Trossard. The other two, how many changes would you make here? Would you play Noni over Saka? Or does Saka need a goal? Does Saka... All right, I'm going to play Saka. We do have to respect Brentford a little bit. I don't want to treat it like a Carabao Cup game. And then up front, even though he's done well, I'm going to bring back Gyökeres because I want Gyökeres starting against Villa. And I think he needs 60 minutes of game time to get him ready for the weekend against Villa. I don't want to make too many changes. But I think Saka needs a good home performance. You know, he seems to play better at home. Maybe take him off at 60 minutes for Noni. Noni can start next week, Club Brugge. And we've got Wolves at home next week as well. I don't think Saka's playing well. And I don't, so I think he needs to play his way into form. I don't think he looks that tired either. So I'm not really looking at Saka thinking he needs a rest. I think he needs a really good performance. And him and Ben White used to link up really well attacking wise. The only thing I would look at in this team, could you flip it and just play with 1-6 and not play Norgard? But I don't think Arteta would do that, because you do have to remember Brentford are very physical. They've got that guy who can throw the ball 35 yards. So we're going to have a lot of headers to win. So you're probably going to need Norgard in midfield for the height if Rice isn't in there. That's what I would play. Timber, I wouldn't even have him on the bench. Rice, I might have him on the bench just in case Norgard is having a stinker. Jay Webb says, why not wait? We have Bruges and Wolves rest Timber and Rice. Because I thought both of them have been looking tired already. And I think you've got to get one of them out. Get one of them out of that team tomorrow. I'd get both, but I'd definitely take one. I think Declan Rice will play tomorrow, but I think Timber might get rested. DG2 said, Bun Odegaard, he's ish. He can't find the front man. Rather Waneri in the 10 if Eze needs a rest. Yeah, but I'm just being realistic from Arteta's point of view. Odegaard's starting tomorrow. I think Declan Rice is starting as well. Forever Gunner said, no Rice and Timber, won't be rest because we dropped points last week. He will play through this week and then rest. Yeah, I could see that happening. The fact he's talking the game up so much and telling the fans to act like animals, it tells you that he's, he obviously rates Brentford. He knows because we didn't beat Chelsea, he's under a little bit of pressure. So I don't think you will see heavy rotation. We don't need to bring Buzz in, play Marino 8. It's just when I've seen Marino in midfield, it looks terrible. It does look terrible. Listen, the other side you could put it is, look, you could say, don't mess about, don't play Norgard, and play Declan Rice. Get the game wrapped up and take him off after 60 minutes. That's the other thing, because if you put a weak team out, you're struggling to break them down, you end up with Rice on the pitch anyway. So you could look at the other way and say, start him, get the game won, and take him off. Timber is the one for me. I think we definitely have to rest. Because Ben White is a very good right back. I don't look at Ben White like, oh, that's a huge downgrade. He's a good right back. He's just struggled with injuries. Norgard Rice is difficult because we know there's a significant drop in quality. I think with Ben White, we need to trust him a little bit, because what we do as Arsenal is we keep picking our best team, and then when you have to throw these guys in, they don't look good. It's because they haven't played enough football. So I think we've got to trust Ben White. I'd take Eze out. The only reason you could play Norgard, it's his old team. I think he would be motivated for it, but let's see what he does. Let's see what Mikel does tomorrow. People, I'm going to round up there, short and sharp, quick hour today. I will have a look actually at that Barca game. I'm not sure. Keep your notifications on. If not, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not on AFTV tonight at 7. Potsy is doing the show for me with Cecil. I'll be back on there next week. So have a look at that if you want to tune in. We may look at it when I'm back later. I don't know. I was thinking more maybe the Fulham Man City game, just because it has a bit of influence on us in terms of if Man City drop points. But from a pure footballing point of view, I would rather watch Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. But we'll have a look, people. Big up to everyone locked in. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you all soon.